Night shift. The CNA encounters they don't tell you about. Night shift in a nursing home feels different from any other job. The halls are darker, the air feels heavier, and the residents who sleep during the day start doing strange things at night. These are the stories CNAs only tell each other when management can't hear. The stories we laugh off to avoid thinking about too long. The stories we swear are true, even when we wish they weren't. Story 1, the wheelchair in the hallway. Every facility has that one piece of equipment nobody wants to touch. Ours was a battered old wheelchair stored at the end of Hall B. It belonged to a resident who passed years before I was even hired. But nobody tossed it out. It just stayed there. Every night around 3 a.m., I'd turn the corner and find that wheelchair facing a different direction. Sometimes facing the wall, sometimes angled toward a resident's doorway, sometimes parked perfectly in the center of the hall, like someone was waiting to be pushed. One night, just to prove a point, I locked the brakes and shoved it all the way against the wall before finishing my rounds. 15 minutes later, when I came back, the wheelchair was in the middle of the hallway again, brakes still locked. I unlocked it, moved it back, and tried not to freak out. But then I heard it, a slow creaking sound from behind me, the sound of someone pushing a wheelchair or sitting in one. I turned back. The chair was inches away from me, and the hand grips on the back were wet, like someone had just been holding them.
Story 2. To the resident in the window, we had a hospice resident named Mrs. Keller who loved sitting by her window. She'd hum the same lullaby every night, staring into the courtyard. After she passed, her room stayed empty for a week. The first night the room was vacant, I walked by during rounds and heard humming the same lullaby. I opened the door and the blinds were already pulled open, even though housekeeping had closed them that morning. The rocking chair by the window was moving gently. I checked the room thoroughly. Nobody was inside. The next night, a different CNA came running to the nurse's station, pale as a sheet. She said she saw a woman sitting in the window of 118. We all checked together. Empty room, rocking chair still, lights off, but on the window glass, there was a fresh handprint, small, delicate, like Mrs. Keller's. Her son visited a few days later to pick up her belongings. He asked if we could open the blinds because, quote, Mom wouldn't want her view blocked. We all exchanged looks. They'd already been open.
Story 3. The patient who counted. Some residents wander. Some yell, but counting over and over. There was a man in room 204 who'd whisper numbers all night long. No matter what we asked, he refused to tell us what the numbers meant, just counting. Slow, precise, never stopping. One night, I entered his room to do vitals. He was staring at the ceiling, eyes wide. 31, he whispered. 32, 33. I asked him what he was counting. He said, the people walking around my bed. I froze. Nobody was in the room but him and me. I stepped back and he suddenly stopped whispering. His eyes locked onto something behind me. 12, he said softly. That one's new. I spun around but saw nothing. The next night, he was louder. Almost panicked. 40, 41, they won't leave. I told the nurse, but when she came in, he instantly went silent again. The third night was the worst. He grabbed my hand with surprising strength and said, they're crowding your side now. Don't go to sleep. He passed peacefully the next morning. When housekeeping cleaned his room, they found dozens of footprints in the dust behind his bed. Bare footprints. All different sizes.
Story for the shower room lights. Our shower room is creepy enough during the day. Tile echoes, dripping pipes, water stains you don't want to look at too closely. But after midnight, the motion lights start turning on by themselves. They're supposed to only activate when someone walks inside, and the sensors are brand new. Every few nights, the lights would flick on, then off, then on again, like someone was pacing in there. One night, I heard water running. I thought maybe a pipe burst. When I opened the shower room door, the light came on instantly, but I was hit with the smell of warm steam, like someone had just taken a hot shower, but the water was ice cold, and the floor was completely dry. Suddenly, I heard footsteps, wet, slapping footsteps, right behind me. I turned around, expecting to see another CNA. No one was there, but the floor behind me is now covered in small, wet footprints, leading out into the hall, stopping right at the aide's office door.
Story 5. The woman who spoke in two voices. We had a resident who was normally calm and quiet, but every full moon, and I wish I were joking, she became aggressive. We chalked it up to sundowning, until one night during a full moon, I went in to toilet her and noticed she was staring at the corner of her room. She whispered something, but it didn't sound like her. It was deeper, wrong. I stepped closer. Was Harper, who are you talking to? She turned her head slowly and smiled, but the smile wasn't hers. Too wide, too stiff. Then she spoke again, but it was two voices layered on top of each other, hers and something much lower. He says he remembers you. I froze. I had never met this woman before working here. I had no idea what she meant. She suddenly grabbed my wrist with both hands, stronger than any 90-year-old woman should have been, and whispered, "He likes you more?" I pressed the call light and backed toward the door. The moment the nurse stepped in, Miss Harper went limp, quiet, normal. She asked why the call light was pressed. I didn't know what to say. Miss Harper simply looked at me and said in her frail, normal voice, "Be careful going to your car tonight. Night shift changes you. It teaches you patience, strength, and fear you don't talk about during morning report. Most people will never know what really happens in those holes, what we see, what we hear, what follows us home. If you want more real CNA horror stories, you know where to find me.